Hi, everyone, and welcome to Public Relations 101. Today, we're going to talk about how public relations works for coaches, creatives, and entrepreneurs. So, first of all, let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Sarah. I have been doing public relations for over 20 years, mostly for government agencies and nonprofits. When I started working with small business owners, one thing that a small business founder said to me that just changed my complete outlook on how I related to business owners was that uh, I thought PR was just for big companies. I didn't know I could do that. She didn't know that small companies, that solopreneurs were even allowed to do PR. So now I work with thought leaders, solopreneurs, and authors who think that they might be too small or unknown. And I show them how to get media coverage. And that's what we're going to do today. So, a quick intro to public relations. First thing to know is PR isn't marketing. There is overlap in some of the products, but PR is its own distinct thing. At heart, it's how you build good working relationships with your different audiences. So there are several different types of PR, media relations, and that is your, of course, just like it sounds like, your media coverage, getting your name in the paper, getting a segment on TV. It includes podcasts and blogs, basically anything that is some sort of media. Public appearances are could be workshops, could be invited to keynote an event, basically anything where you make an appearance. Strategic engagement and partnerships, and this could be collaborations, social media partnerships, bundles like this one, summits, anything where you are working with, partnering with someone else. Direct engagement is your newsletter, your email marketing, social media, when you send not necessarily the content you publish, but when you are communicating directly with someone on social media, with a mutual or someone, anything where you are talking directly to your audience. Community relations is where you are engaging with, it could be your local community, it could be your business community, and it can be virtual. It doesn't have to necessarily be an in-person geographical sort of thing, but it could be a business association you belong to. It could be an online membership group. It could be an industry or an interest networking group. Public affairs or government relations, you'll hear both of those names used. That is typically one that most solopreneurs and authors don't need to engage in most of the time. This is lobbying your government at any level, at a very micro level, your city government or your county government, all the way up to um, at a national federal level. And and this doesn't necessarily mean you calling your member of Congress. It could be going through a business association like the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. That it's a little different than community relations because this is primarily focused on changing some kind of regulation, or getting something done on a government level to support small businesses. The last one is one that we all hope we don't have to do, but it is frequently something that people forget about until they need it. And that's, of course, crisis communications. And crisis communications can take the form of any of these other areas, other types of PR, but it is specifically designed to be used when something goes wrong. So when I talk to most entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, authors about PR, what is in their head is the media relations part of it. So that's what we're going to focus on in this little mini workshop. So media relations is, how do you get media coverage? How do you get your name in the paper? How do you get your face on TV? How do you get your business featured? And there are, to start, I want to talk about the three different types of media coverage. Earned media is anything you don't pay for. It can be print, it can be digital, it can be television, podcast, radio, anything like that. If you send a press release, you are looking for earned media. Owned media, again, exactly what it sounds like. It is a media platform that you own. So that is your website, your blog, your newsletter, your podcast. And even though those you don't necessarily own you don't own Squarespace, you don't own WordPress, but you do own your content on that platform. You could easily pick up, well, maybe not easily, but um, you could pick up, you could change your website from Squarespace to WordPress. You could change your newsletter hosting platform. It's a pain, but the content is yours. You have the freedom to pick it up and move it. Social media, on the other hand, is not technically owned media. You do create the content, but as soon as you post it on that social media platform, it is no longer really yours. You lose control over it. If that, say, a particular social media platform is turned off by the government, or goes bankrupt and stops operating, you lose all of your content. Like, there's no transferring that to in that form to another platform. It's just, I mean, even if you download it, like, there's no you can't just easily transfer that to another site. And the social media platform can control what you post. They may choose to block you, to take you off of that platform for something that you post. So you don't social media content is not owned media. Now, all of these things, though, even if you are paying for, your Squarespace hosting, um, when we talk about all of these earned, owned, and social media, that is organic because you're not paying for it. If you're paying for your media, it's advertising. And that's, I mean, you can, social media as an example, there's a difference between, your organic post and a paid ad. So if you pay for it, it is advertising. Even if it looks like organic earned media, if it takes the form of an article. More and more publications are including some kind of sponsored content. And essentially, that is just an article that you pay to be placed. Frequently, you write it. You can sometimes pay a little bit more to have them write it, but it is often noted in the publication somewhere as sponsored content or content provided by, and the business name or a person name. But that is, even though it looks like an article, it is still considered advertising. It used to be that was just not cool. You didn't do that. Readers didn't like that. Readers didn't read sponsored content, and they let publications know about it. These days, it's a lot more accepted. And the data that I've seen over the last couple of years seems to be that readers look at sponsored content and go, yeah, okay, whatever. Everything's sponsored these days. Everything requires pay to play. So sure. All right. So if you have an opportunity to do sponsored content, it's not a bad thing. And it does get your name in the paper. Just know that it is not likely to, that's not the kind of media coverage that's necessarily going to generate other media coverage. All right. So now the big question. Do you, as a entrepreneur, as a solopreneur, as an author, as a small business owner, do you need to do public relations? And yes, I'm biased as a PR expert, but I truly believe that every business, it doesn't matter if you are one person, if you are a team of 20, if you are a multinational corporation, you need to do some kind of public relations. But it doesn't all have to be the same thing. Like I said, you don't have to necessarily do social media partnerships. You don't have to do press releases. But if you want to raise your profile, if you want to grow your name recognition, if you want to grow your audience, earned media coverage is incredibly useful for that. And the good news is that, yes, you can get earned media coverage even if you are a solopreneur, an online coach, or a brand new author getting ready. You haven't even released a book yet. You're getting ready for that. So where do you start? If your business is, if you work with people in person, if you work within a geographical area, the easy place to start is with your local press. But even if your business is online, pitching your local newspapers works. The thing to remember is you're not selling your business. You are selling your subject matter expertise. So when you act as a source for a local paper or a magazine, a TV station, you want to create a hook that talks about what you can offer them. So you're not selling, your course or your workshop or your coaching services. You are selling the thing that you know about and you are sharing it with them. If there are niche publications in your industry, go after those. Those folks are always looking for content. And if you have a unique hook, if you have a cool story that you can share with them, that is a great way to get earned media coverage. You can also, with a lot of these subject specific publications, you can offer to write an article for them. If you're a freelance writer, if you've pitched a freelance article, it's the same thing. Different publications have different needs for that, but usually on their website, on their contact us page, on their about us page, if they accept articles from external writers, it will tell you that. And the thing I can say about that is follow the rules. If they tell you what to pitch or they tell you what not to pitch and they tell you how, make sure you give them exactly what they ask for. Otherwise, your pitch, your press release, your story that you're offering to write for them won't go anywhere. A quick warning. Legitimate publications will have some kind of digital presence. Even print, even print newspapers have digital versions now, and those websites aren't often slick or pretty, especially for like very small local publications. They may be very simple, but they will be legit. There will be some kind of contact information on them. There will be a publisher. It might be a company name instead of a Jane Q. Smith, but there will be some kind of legitimate contact information on there. There are content mill sites that will reach out to you and say, we're so impressed with your work. We want to do an interview with you. And you're like, great, earned media coverage. This is awesome. And sometimes they'll make a point of saying, oh, you don't have to pay for it. That should be a warning right there. But when you get the interview, it is not a meeting, it is a web form or a series of questions, and basically they want you to write the story. And so what they'll do is they post the question, next to your picture, they post a question and then your answer verbatim. And I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying be aware of what it is, and that those sites are, they may be SEO for another site. They may be, I said they're content mills. So I would not advise my clients to do that sort of thing. Again, you can if you need some kind of coverage, that is a way to do it. But just also be warned that it's probably not going to get you. It's not going to be helpful. And here's a pro tip. When you reach out, and I say it is great to start small, start with your local papers, but one of the ways to do that is send them a note. Introduce yourself. Say, hi, I am a local author. I am a local coach focusing on your business area. And I would love to, if you ever need a source in widget building, in this particular type of widget, it's important right now because of the economy or, whatever, give them a hook. Offer to be a source. You're not pitching something a specific story to them right now. You are just saying, hi, I am here. If you need me, please feel free to reach out. You can also ask, hey, I'm releasing a book later on this year. I would love to send you a press release. How do you prefer to get information like that? Would you like me to email it to you? Do you have a web form? Does it go to a particular person? And when you reach out to press outlets like that, they like that. It shows connection, it shows helpfulness, um, it shows that you really want to give them what they need, not have a transactional relationship. And it's even better if you can say, hey, I read your article on, or I've been a longtime reader of your publication. Show them that you know who they are and what they write about. And that's why you're reaching out to them. All right, so what's next? When you get media coverage, and I know you will, you want to amplify it. Post the links on your socials and make sure that you tag the reporter or the publication, include it in your newsletter, build a press coverage page on your website or even a section on another page. And all of that is social proof. You want to, you want to amplify it. You want to talk about it. Use that coverage as long as you can. I mean, it is the proverbial, when I appeared in such and such magazine, just keep building on that. And one of the things is when other people see that you have had media coverage, it's social proof for your clients, but it's also social proof for other media outlets. You get in a small media outlet, and then a regional magazine sees that coverage and like, oh, hey, they sound cool. We should talk to them too. Or, oh, this subject is trending. There's an expert. Let's reach out to them. And if you're not sure how to write a press release or pitch your reporter, this is a thing I do. I teach classes, more in-depth classes like this, or I do a thing called Launch in a Bag that I write your press release and your story pitch for that and help you, because like I said, I think every small business needs PR, and I think every small business can get PR. And so I would love to help you get your name in the paper and on TV and grow your audience that way. Thanks for watching. And please do send me a note, sign up for my newsletter. And I hope to see you all in the paper.